Welcome back to Global Business Environment. In this new chapter, we are going to talk about diffusion of technology and innovations. Globalization boosts technological development. Technological globalization has accelerated diffusion of technology throughout the global economy. So the technological globalization can be defined as a transfer of technologies around the world and particularly from developed to developing nations. In this video, I'm going to explain you who are the consumers and what you mean by the innovations and its waves. Then the product life cycle of a product as well as a service. And the main point is the theory of diffusion of innovations. Then based upon this theory, we are going to talk about the measurement of innovativeness. Consumers or the customers are the most important people in any business. They allow an organization to achieve its business aims and objectives. A person who purchases goods and services for personal use called a consumer. There are two types. Local consumers are the consumers who will buy a product in the region or area in which it is produced. Instead, global consumers are the consumers who frequently purchase products across the borders, both on and offline. Understanding consumer needs across the market is a key success factor for global expansion. When entering international markets, besides identifying your potential customers or the consumers, you need to know what motivates them to purchase a product or service. By that, you have to identify international marketing strategies to expand your business horizons. Let's identify the concept called innovation. Innovations can be defined as new things, ideas, products, or practices. Innovation can help you to stay ahead of the curve and grow your company in the process. Here are the main reasons innovation is crucial for your businesses. First one, it allows adaptability. In the recent COVID-19 pandemic, most of the businesses were disrupted on a massive scale. Many businesses still sustain negative results from this world shift because they have stuck to the status quo. Innovation is often necessary for companies to adapt and welcome the challenges in the global environment. It fosters growth. Stagnation can be extremely damaging for your businesses. Achieving organizational and economic growth through innovation is key in today's highly competitive world. It enables to increase the productivity. It increases the productivity of the individuals, processes, and business models, among others. Simply, innovation presents new ideas to business leaders to increase efficiency with minimum resources. Furthermore, it will reduce businesses and other risks in the global business environment. It enables to reduce cost and increase revenue. It helps to increase revenue and make wider market share, subsequently leading to reduction in cost. Furthermore, innovations gives a competitive advantage. Most industries are populated with multiple competitors offering similar products or services. So, innovation can distinguish your business from others. Let's look at the types of innovations. In businesses and economics, innovation is often divided into five types. Product innovation, which involves the introduction of a new good or service or improvement in an existing one to meet customers' needs in a novel way. Or this might include improvement in functional characteristics, technical abilities, ease of use, or any other dimension. Just see, earlier people have used landlines for communication, but they are not portable. So the companies have introduced cellular phones, which allows the users to take calls from anywhere. Process innovation involves the implementation of a new or significantly improved production or delivery method. This includes significant changes in techniques, equipment, or softwares, such as Netflix transition from DVD rental to online streaming, whereas Amazon uses robots, drones, and AI to optimize its processes. Marketing innovation is the development of new marketing methods with improvement in product design or packaging, product promotion, or pricing. Like Apple products brought features that changed the market and people's perception. Now, without having a professional camera, people who uses iPhones can make great images and videos. So this has built a new edge in the phone industry. Organizational innovation. This is also referred as social innovation, which involves the creation of new organizations, business practices, way of running organizations, or new organizational behaviors. In the McDonald's company, they have created its own test kitchens and so-called noodle teams, in which employees at all levels of the hierarchy can develop new ideas and try them out. There, the hierarchies are flat. Anyone can contact anyone and discuss new ideas with anyone. Let's look at the business model innovation. It involves changes the way of business is done in terms of capturing values. The best example is Dell versus Compaq. Dell Computers has emerged as one of the leading players in the PC industry through its direct selling model, whereas Compaq are sold through distributors. But you can see it is still in the market and earn profitability. Now let's see the long waves or the history of innovation cycle. In the first wave of the Industrial Revolution, water power was the instrumental in manufacturing paper, textile, and iron goods. The first factory emerged as a cotton mill in Britain. And in the second wave, the rail industry alone affected countless industries, from iron to oil to steel and copper. In turn, it has influenced the urban growth. In the third wave, Henry Ford introduced the Model T, and the assembly line transformed the auto industry. Later, in the fourth wave, aviation revolutionized the travel. And in the fifth wave of the innovation, it was driven by the rise of software, new media, and the internet. This wave brought about new ways of communication, entertainment, and commerce. In the sixth wave, marked by the artificial intelligence and digitalization across the information of things, IoT, or robotics and drones, and it will likely paint an entirely new picture. Every single product has a unique lifespan. It starts and it ends. What matters is how long and how successfully it will survive. According to the theory of product life cycle, a product consists of 5 stages: development, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Now let's see product life cycle stages and their characteristics. Product development stage is the initial stage. In this stage, new product ideas are generated, operationalized, and tested. Thus, it needs a lot of research and development. Usually, there won't be no sales and the business will run at loss. And you can note that there is no competition in the development stage. When it comes to the introduction stage, the company introduced the product into the market. As the product is new to the market, awareness is usually very low. The cost of product is very high, whereas the volume of sales is very low. Therefore, the product incurs losses. And in this stage, there is a little competition. When it comes to the growth stage, the sales are growing and the company is trying to gain maximum market share. This leads to lesser cost and better profits. Competition begins to increase with fewer new players in establishing market. During the maturity stage, there are maximum sales, but with slow growth. Profit reaches its peak and there is a market saturation. As a result, profit tend to decrease. New competitors entered into market. Therefore, there can be aggressive competition all around the market in the maturity stage. So the company has to put competition-based prices to survive. Declining stage is the final stage. In this stage, product and sales profits declines. Company will remove big product from their product mix and they have to put some advertising campaign in order to survive in the market. A service organization will have to handle a service life cycle as opposed to a product life cycle. New services or new form of current service is first offered in this introductory stage. As with goods, make new services never obtain acceptance by the customers and never get past the first stage of the service life cycle easily. Therefore, it can be introduced on a small scale and expanded if the acceptance grows. Therefore, we can witness low sales volume and profits. New services faces few or no direct competitors. However, this introductory stage is normally short. During the growth stage, the industry is growing rapidly. Most of the firms offered the new services are seeing a positive cash flow. Firms offered services can normally increase their prices and higher margins and generate greater profits. Thus, more firms will enter the market. Therefore, there may be aggressive competition. Companies have to identify distinct market segment in this stage. So the service providers need to develop a sustainable competitive advantage in the growing stage. New target groups and new distribution channels has to be identified. In the maturity stage, the sales levels are off and the profits are decreasing. Competition becomes very intense and it needs intense competitive advantage. As a result, there is a decline in the overall industry profits. Weaker firms will be shaken out of the industry. At this stage of the service life cycle, consumers see very few distinguishable characteristics among the various firms in the service industry. So, it requires a strong marketing programs to attach the consumers. In the declining stage, because of new technology development, industry sales tend to decline. Because of decrease in demand, cash flow and profit for companies throughout the industry may have declined. Many companies delete the service reducing to avoid the competition. Companies with the service in declining part of the life cycle have 5 options. Divest. It involves the company selling off portion of its assets, often to improve company value and obtain higher efficiency. Or harvest. It involves reducing spending on an established product in order to maximize profit. It further allows company to reap the maximum profit before the product becomes obsolete or reaches the end of its life cycle. Pruning involves reducing the number of services offered by the firm. The most unprofitable services are discontinued, with the most profitable services are kept. Whereas pruning is a common strategy for service operations. Retrenchment is the fourth strategy and it involves selling off or closing the unprofitable accounts while keeping or expanding the profitable ones. This strategy is good for large firms with multiple outlets and for the businesses to businesses service sector. Rejuvenation is the process of refreshing and repositioning a brand to keep it relevant, distinctive, and appealing to its target market. The theory of diffusion of innovations describes the pattern and speed at which new ideas, practices, or products spread through a population. This theory is used extensively by marketers to understand the rate at which consumers are likely to adopt a new product or service. The main players in this theory are innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, and laggards. This application of the theory usually focuses on identifying and recruiting influential early adopters to help accelerate consumer acceptance. Let's see what are the factors that influence adoption of an innovation. The first one is relative advantage. It is the degree to which an innovation is deemed superior to the idea, program, or product it replaces, which means the new innovation should gain advantages for the customer rather than the previous program or the product or the idea. The next one is compatibility. It is the degree to which the innovation is consistent with the needs, values, and experience of the potential users. If the innovation is failed to satisfy the needs or the values, wants of the potential users, then they won't able to adopt it easily. They may reject it in the first instance. Complexity. The level of difficulty of innovation is to understand or use some of the technical jargons or technical knowledge may be included to use an innovation. If so, the old people may not be understand it easily. Sometimes if they are lacking education, they may able to understand the complex jargons. Then there will be a reluctance for the adoption of the innovation. Trialability. It is the extent to which the innovation can be tried out or tested out before being selected to accept. Sometimes if there is an innovation, the users willing to try it out before buying it. So if they are unable to try out before test it out, then they may reluctant to use this innovation. That's why most of the new products in the market, there is a trial period. Observability. How well an idea produces observable outcomes or tangible results. If the users can see or if they can observe this innovation is successful with their own eyes, then most of the people will be enchanted by this innovation and they will attracted to it. However, if they can't see what are the outcomes, then there may be a reluctancy. Let's look at the main people in the diffusion of innovations theory. Firstly, innovators. These are the people who are open to risk and the first to try the new ideas or innovation. Early adopters are the people who are interested in trying new technologies. They are comfortable with the change and adopting new ideas. Early majority are those who adopt new innovations before the average person. They pave the way for the use of innovation within mainstream society and are part of the general population. Late majority are the people who are doubtful of change and will only adopt an innovation after it has been generally accepted and adopted by the majority of the population. They follow the early majority to adopting innovations as part of their daily life. Laggards. They are the people who are very traditional and conservative. This is primarily because they are risk averse and set in their ways of doing things. Eventually, They sweep of innovation through mainstream society and make it impossible for them to conduct their daily activity or at work without it. As a result, they are forced to begin using it. Rogers has proposed a classification of adopters in his Rogers adoption or innovation curve, according to which consumers can be divided into 5 categories based on the time taken by them to adopt a product. These 5 adopter categories are innovators, late adopters, late majority, and laggers. Based on the research, it has been observed that 5 categories, when plotted on a graph, will lead to a bell-shaped normal distribution curve. Let's identify Rogers' customer segments or adopter categories on the innovation adoption curve. Innovators comprise 2.5% of the target market's adopters. They are those consumers who are the first to go and purchase a new product or service offering, such as sometimes people were in a queue overnight to buy the first ever iPhone. Sometimes people may first to experience staying in an Airbnb host spare room, which lent air, bed and breakfast for hospitality. Sometimes they may wish to ride with the Uber rather than taking a taxi. Innovators are willing to take risks and are youngest in age. They have the highest income or purchasing power. They have the greatest awareness and understanding of scientific development and technological knowledge. It is important to mention here that innovators are not genetic. They are more than specific to a product and a service type. The next 13.5% of the target market's adopters are called early adopters. They are generally more risk averse than innovators and tend to go and gather more information about the product or service or a brand and go into purchase. Early adopters are typically younger in age and have higher income and advanced education. They are often very active on social media and leave their mark on the market. They are less sensitive to the price. Sometimes they may purchase the latest smartphone as soon as it is released, even if their current device is still functioning. Sometimes they may invest in new home automation technology, such as thermostats or smart lights. They may excite about trying new products and services and eager to experiment. They may try out new virtual reality or augmented reality experiences. Sometimes they may be one of the first to switch to electric vehicles or alternative energy sources. These customers have the highest influence among the other adopter segments. Early majority comprising roughly one-third of the overall population. They are the consumers who buy innovative products later than the early adopters. These individuals are doubtful of change. Early majority buys a new product or service when an innovation succeeds at capturing a significant market share. The adaptation time is significantly larger than the innovators and early adopters. Rogers identified that They have the above average income and social connection with early adopters, but are usually not influencers or opinion leaders. Sometimes these people may delay the purchase of a new smartphone until there is sufficient customer feedback or reviews. They may purchase a popular tech product only when its price decreases. They may join a new social media platform once there is larger number of friends and family have signed up. Furthermore, they may avoid the new piece of exercise equipment until it is widely recommended by the fitness experts. Now let's look at the late majority. They are thoughtful and risk averse to innovation adaptability and are not too interested in social influence or trends. These people are bounded by traditions and are consequently the hardest to convert. They have very little financial lucidity. Furthermore, they have very little opinion leadership as well. Most of these late majority people are using the traditional mobile phones for communication, and they are afraid of using smartphones with new digital technologies. They are more rely on cash payments and shy away from digital payment methods. Most of the people are trying to do shopping in stores and cautious of trying new online retailing methods. Laggards are the last customers to adopt an innovation. They tend to dislike change and are often seen as the traditionalist. They more likely advance in age and they have the lowest social status and lowest financial fluidity. They have little to no opinion leadership. Further, business firms can target laggards by offering them detailed product information, customers' testimonials, and as well as addressing their specific concerns and objections. So you can see these laggards are using these outdated equipments or sometimes softwares instead of upgrade it to a new technology. Further, they will avoid the use of digital platforms such as online banking, e-commerce, or cloud storage, and just they want to experience the physical experience by going to the bank and doing the transactions manually. They may be reluctant to adopt environmentally friendly or sustainable practices because they are still relying on the old methods. Measuring your organizational innovativeness can help you to direct your efforts in the appropriate directions. There are several ways to measure the innovativeness. First one is through KPIs. Organizations has to set their goals, objectives, and targets to achieve their inputs, processes, and outputs. For that, they can have the key performance indicators. So these key performance indicators or KPIs can be the number of new ideas generated, percentage of revenues by new innovations, number of patents, the market share growth, innovation adaptation rates, as well as number of awards for the innovations. Then they can use innovation accounting to measure the innovativeness. Innovation accounting is a process of measuring the innovation progress and success of an organization, and it links tangible business outcomes via the existing financial system. Further, they can use the ROI. Here we are going to measure the innovativeness of the ROI. It measures how effectively a company turns research and development spending and products into profitability. Furthermore, they can use the balance scorecard. So, balance scorecard is a popular method to measure the organizational performance on several perspectives. It uses financial perspective, learning and growth perspective, internal processes perspective to measure the performance of the innovativeness. Diffusion of technology or the technology adaptation curve helps you to explain why some products and ideas were widely adopted, whereas others failed to gain the attraction. By understanding the different stages of the adaptation and the characteristics of each segment, international businesses can tailor their marketing, innovation, and learning and development strategy to target, engage with different groups of adopters more effectively. Therefore, keep in touch and stay tuned with Global Environment for more updates with regarding to the international business world.